Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Running Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Big Mike, and I am joined by apparently the confused Sped. What's going on,
That was
Sped?
a weird.
How you doing, buddy?
That was weird. That sounded like a rolling.
It was weird,
thunder.
all right. You are 100% right. That was weird.
Well, it
I
shook
don't know
the
what's weird
house.
for the same reason you think it's weird.
It shook the house. The thunder's no yeet. It shook the house. That's how weird it was. No yeet. Yeah.
This is my favorite thing
No
ever.
yeet.
The whole yeet thing. Look, the yeet thing has made it into other shows. Like Herb and Hodge were talking about it on their show the other day. It's the best thing. I love it. So don't be surprised if we get like yeet spams at some point just to mess with you. And I'm here for it.
I know. It's funny. But yeah, that thunder rumbled the whole house. It was like shook the whole house. Oh my god. Okay, cool.
Well, are you going to be okay, Dorothy?
I don't know.
Going to take you away, or are you going to go to a bright land?
I hope. Yellow Brick Road. Isn't that death?
Yeah, is Garth Brooks doing it? Is the thunder rolling? Is there lightning striking?
What?
Sounds like a yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I think Sped would probably know the difference there.
Oh, I would.
So there's a yeet. There's a yeet. Everywhere. Yeet. There's Herb and Raj, the previously mentioned Herb and Raj from the Herb and Raj podcast. Thank you for coming in, sir. Be sure to tune in Tuesday nights at 8 Central and Saturday nights, whenever the hell they feel like it, for Unhinged After Dark. We got a yeet from Michael at Kicking At It 2, another good friend of ours that hosts a podcast. Again, Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. I know, Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. Kind of battling shows there, which I both love. So definitely try to check out both of them. A big yeet from Raj, the other half of the Herb and Raj podcast. Carol coming in with a yeet as well. What's going on, Carol? Thank you for coming in. So thank you. Thank yeet to everyone. So,
no yeet.
Stampede don't yeet. So yeah, that's why Stampede and Sped get along.
Thank you.
No yeet for both of them. Stampede, they don't eat for very different reasons though. Like Stampede doesn't eat because he's very prim, very proper wrestling fan. He doesn't like that. Very thrill induced. Sped doesn't like eating because he gets confused because there's a lot of movement and a lot of stuff going on. He doesn't know what to do.
I'm uncoordinated, man. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time.
And during our behind the scenes, we had Michael from Kicking At It 2. I think it's Michael. Is this Michael or is this Tori? I guess I should have asked. I assumed it's Michael. So if it's Tori, I apologize. But definitely check their show out. They actually go on a little later on tonight as well with WWE 2K25 GM mode. So, but he had a question earlier. I'd like to know everybody's answer in the comments. What is your tell me something, brother? If anybody who watches wrestling know that that's a very popular phrase in wrestling, made famous by someone that I don't like talking about very much, but the question is very valid, which is basically something you say too much all of the time. And it is Michael from Kicking At It 2, which is also just Kicking At It 2. So it's like I think we've cross streams somewhere, and it's never good to cross streams, but we'll take it. So Sped, what is your tell me something, brother, kind of phrase? What do you use too much?
Listen, Linda. All right, I do that to my wife all the time, and her name's not even Linda. What's up, Vig? How you doing? I'd be like, listen, Linda. All right, and then I'll go on to what I need to say, and that's how I do that.
So Lady Alpha says y'all too much, which is cool from somebody not from Alabama. Because I know that's a thing that we get accused of saying a lot. I actually don't use the word y'all very often, which is why people tell me I don't sound like I'm from the South.
I say y'all all the time up here.
Herb says, you know what they say? He does do that. He says that to me all the time. And I say, yes, I know what they say, but who is they? And then he doesn't like it. Michael doesn't disagree, but I don't know if that's what he says or if he just doesn't disagree with anything you said. So wait, so same Sped. So do you say listen, Linda, as well?
Yeah, he does. He says he did it to his wife all the time.
Okay. Oh, even Vig says you do that so much.
Yeah, I know Vig. Me and Vig, ironically, we've done a show called the Nick and Nick Show because his name's Nick, spelled with a CK. Mine's Nick, was spelled with just a C. And it's really funny when we do our shows together. He's a really good guy. He's a veteran too, so give that guy a follow. He's a good guy.
Okay, well, welcome in, Big. It's the first time I've seen your name. I'm Big Mike. I'm the other half of the Running Wrestling podcast with Sped, the lesser half. A lot may say, most says, really. Pretty much
Just
everybody
him.
says, to be completely
Just
honest.
him.
Lady Alpha, I can't post my other repetitive words. You can. I don't know that YouTube will put them up, but you're more than welcome to post it. You know me, I'm gonna put it up. I don't know no better. I'm like Ron Burgundy. I just read what's on the teleprompter.
With a glass case full of emotions.
Mine is my bad or my fault. I say that a lot, and I've been told I say it way too much. But that's like my first thought when somebody says something. Oh, my bad. My fault.
My bad. Yeah, my fault.
That's mine. Yeah. That's definitely mine. Yes, it is Talent Brains like your show. Unfortunately, the talent and the brains are all on the other side of the screen from me.
There's no way.
With the Phoenix in there. So
I was gonna say it has to be the bird you're talking about. The talent and the brains.
The biggest part of my brain is to be able to find people who make me better. And Sped's definitely one of those. As are all of you in the comments, and I appreciate this because we are all better for you guys. I came to the show expecting to see Karrion Kross, so I would love to see Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross, Killer Kross, whatever. If you want to come on the show, I know you got a lot of stuff coming out on YouTube. You want to come promote it? You're more than welcome to come on the show. I am a huge fan of yours. So yeah, always. Roger's phrase is "You're right, Herb." There you go. That one's a good one. Lady, I could see that. I've known you for a little while. I could see that being part of your vernacular there. Alex Trebek. Hello, Alex. What's going on? Let us know what you say way too much.
Isn't he dead?
But I wasn't gonna go there.
I was just wondering. I was like, hold on here.
I hope so. Not that I don't watch other wrestling, but I like where his character is going, and I don't want him to have to start over somewhere else. That's really the only reason. I think he would survive and thrive in any environment that he goes into. But I mean, I don't want to have a whole restart, reboot kind of thing in a whole nother company. So yeah, either way, I'm going to watch him no matter where he's at. So he's not going to lose me either way. I can't quit you. Sorry. Blacked out there. Don't know what happened. Where's Vanna? Oh, she's Ryan Seacrest now somewhere. Chilling, hanging out. All right. But we can sit here and do this all night, but we will get to some wrestling. The whole reason you're here. The whole reason everybody's here. Well, and Sped. Sorry, I forgot that.
I choked on my water.
The guy in the movie choked on something else.
Oh, damn.
I mean, it's and we're not gonna lie, it hasn't been a huge week on the shows of wrestling. I mean, there's some cool stuff that's happened, but coming after WrestleMania, there's always kind of a lull here. You do have Double or Nothing coming up next month, or I say next month, this month for AEW. You have BattleGround coming up. You have Backlash coming up in a week or so. So there is still stuff going on, but it's you coming off the excitement of WrestleMania is always a letdown because it's kind of like a release. Like, okay, now we can breathe for a second before we start gearing up for the next big thing. So we'll go over a few things. We're going to talk about some headlines, same stuff that we normally do, and anything you guys want to talk about, bring up in the comments. We will go from there. But we start with SmackDown last Friday. Started out, we got the confirmation for 100% that it's going to be John Cena and Randy Orton at Backlash. And is this 2013? No, it's not. Is the first answer I'll give you there, Sped. And the only reason why is because it is the opposite of 2013. So I guess it's like 3102.
3102.
Because that would be it kind of flipped on its head. Because we have a heel John Cena and a face Randy Orton that will kick off at Backlash. What are your thoughts about the segment, and are you excited about this match?
First off, to everyone out there that's saying this is not the retire, Randy Orton's not going to retire John Cena. He can't do it now. You never know what's going to happen. John Cena might just slap the shit out of the referee like Randy Orton did back in the day. All right. So it could be the roles reversed. Something's going to happen. But nah, whatever, man. It's John Cena, Randy Orton. Everybody's going to love that match. Come on. It's two guys that you love to watch. Two guys. This is it's whatever at this point. Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
I mean, it's going to be a good match. I'm kind of with TC and you. There's no way John Cena is going to lose this. I will say this may be for anybody that didn't like Cody and Cena because they thought it was too slow and anything like that. Don't watch this match.
Yeah, don't do it, please.
This may be the slowest wrestling match in the history of professional wrestling.
Or I'm telling you, or it could go within like 30 seconds, and John Cena just looks at the referee and slaps the dog shit out of him.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying. They may only do 5 moves of wrestling, period, but that's going to take 45 minutes because they're both so slow.
The entrance is going to take 45 minutes from Randy Orton.
I mean, Randy Orton has been notoriously one of the slowest workers in the WWE, if not all of professional wrestling, for a long time.
Oh, hell of a long time.
I don't know what kind of gimmick you would put on this match. Maybe I don't know. I was going to try to think of something funny, but it just kind of went away.
I don't
know. Call it the greatest match. I mean, you could. They could very well say that. I don't know that it's going to be. But yeah, it could very well be the slowest wrestling match in the history of WWE or wrestling in general. But it's still going to be entertaining to me.
Oh yeah, again. No, it's going to be great. Still, it's just
because it's going to tell a great story. It really
is.
And even if they end it like you're talking about, where John Cena just turns around and smacks the referee and turns around and walks off. Everybody's gonna. Do you realize how much the internet will explode if they do that as a main event of a pay-per-view?
Yeah,
it would be hilarious.
It'd be funny. And then Sped called it.
Yes, and in that case, you couldn't put a stip on it because obviously, if you put a stip, there's no DQ, and he turns around and hits the ref, and you can't get disqualified.
Yeah,
so maybe they do it again at the next pay-per-view, or maybe at Saturday night's main event, and they put a stip on it there. So where they can do a little bit more, gives John to get a little bit more time to get in better shape, knock off some more of the ring rust, if you can call it ring rust. He's been around for a while. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I think it would be a lot of fun.
No, DiBiase ain't coming back. He did some bad things. He ain't coming back. He did some bad things.
There's no way. I think when John Cena drops it, it will be to somebody to pub them up as the next big thing, regardless of whether you think that may be Cody Rhodes or a Gunther or whoever it may be down the line, down the road. I think it's going to be somebody that obviously who's going to be the next it guy in wrestling, or who they want to make the next it guy in wrestling, no matter who that may be. Let's see. Next up, you have 2 returns. Nia Jax returning from a short absence to attack Tiffany Stratton after a pretty good match. And the return that I know one of the ones I've been waiting on, the return of Aleister Black to destroy The Miz in about 2 seconds to everyone who saw it coming. Which one of these are you more excited for, Sped?
I want to see what they do with Black, but I've always liked Nia. I love the fact that she's give Jimmy the title. I've always liked that she's a straightforward. She's gonna beat you down. She don't play around. But yeah, I like how that,
Michael. But gosh, that's not an impossibility.
That is not an impossibility, but I like how they gave Aleister Black his interest back. The theme, he didn't get death rebelled at all. He got the come back up and sit up type of deal. I like that. Shit was dope.
Yes, that original theme slaps. one of
it
my
does.
favorite themes. I love that theme. It's gets me hyped up every time I hear it. I was so hyped. I jumped up off of my couch. I mean, and I knew it was going to be him. It's one of those things that wasn't like it was that big of a surprise. The bigger surprise was it was the original theme. It was the original entrance. And I was so happy for that because obviously we were expecting something crazy after the Rusev thing that we didn't talk about last week that we'll bring up here in a little bit. But I was like, oh, they're just going to give him a whole new theme just like they did Rusev. It's going to be something completely different.
Worked out though, because I mean, he needed a new theme coming in.
Well, and I'm not mad at the Rusev thing. I don't mind the gimmick or the change, but I did not want them to mess with Aleister. And I'm glad that they did.
Yeah, and I feel that. Yeah.
Why are we going over? Because it'll sell. It's a good feud before they find out what they want to do with her next. You know, she just came off all this stuff with Charlotte. She's comfortable with Nia. They've been in the ring. They've been together for a little while. It'll be a lot better looking match than the one with Charlotte. Yep. So it'll build some of that up. That's really why. If I'm not mistaken, that's pretty much frame by frame that they did with the original Aleister Black debut too. So I mean, it's that's kind of the way he's debuted in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Aleister or something like that. Yeah, something crazy Def Rebel wise.
Yeah, I was expecting to hear some stupid black mash. Black mash. Yeah, and then I was like, oh God. Now.
And I guess excited may be the wrong word. But I have a lot of anticipation for both of them. Because with Nia returning, I don't know this is going to be a very long feud. I think it's going to be a one match and done. But I wonder where both of those two go from here. Like, I wonder who the next person to challenge Tiffany is, and where does Nia start going after maybe the U.S. title?
Yep.
With that change that we saw we'll talk about here in a second. And really, where does Aleister Black come in? Because we've seen some. I'm not gonna lie, we've seen some people come back on SmackDown that we thought were going to be big returns and have kind of fizzled out. Yeah. Looking at you, Andrade. Not that he hasn't had great matches, but it just hasn't connected like I think everybody thought it was, and it's gone down. I'm hoping that doesn't happen here. But I'm very anxious and have a lot of anticipation with where things go from here with both of them. So, anything else? Any other thoughts on that for you?
The only thing I was going to say is I think Nia is going to the U.S. Title area. They want to put a focus on building those titles as, true mid-card titles. Right now, they just feel like, besides what Chelsea Green did with the U.S. title, kind of feels like a gimmick title, So yeah. I hope Zelina Vega can do something, other than face Meechin every 2 weeks. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever.
It'll be Candice LeRae since she's the heel. Yeah, Meechin's they're not going to put them two together, so it'll be Candice LeRae this time.
Yeah. I like Candice LeRae in the ring. She can go.
I do too. I like Meechin in the ring. That doesn't mean that I don't like him. Yeah, just how it went. He will settle in the mid card fairly great, I don't disagree with that. Which I thought it was where Andrade was going to end up in that mid card scene, but he hasn't even got to that point yet. Maybe they're going to build something with the whole, him getting involved with Legado and kind of separating them. Maybe he'll have something to do with them where he's mentoring one of them. Something I don't know. I'd like them to do more with Andrade because I like Andrade, but I don't want Aleister Black to fall into that same kind of valley right after his comeback.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
I have more hope with Rusev because I think Rusev will stand out a little bit more. Just because the way they've presented him and the way that he was already kind of over before. Like Aleister Black, I don't know really ever got over on the main roster as much as Rusev with Rusev Day did. So maybe a lot of more people know him. So it's going to be an easier transition back. Yeah. As much as they advance as they plan you would. Yeah. I'm glad it's not Jade because I still want the Jade Bianca Naomi thing to kind of progress. I'm glad that it's not Jade and Tiffany in a program because that's not something I want to see right now. Maybe next year's WrestleMania, maybe depending on their progression, but not anything I wanted to see right now. So when she came out for that match, I was a little scared because I did not want that to be a PLE match or a feud. So I'm glad it kind of got. I'm glad it switched gears. I'm a lot more comfortable with Nia and Tiffany than I am with Jade and Tiffany, if that makes sense. I mean that's possible too. He could go down to AAA once they start, really doing a lot of that. Which Stampede agrees. And then we also talked about it too. You have Zelina Vega. No longer can we pledge our allegiance to President Green. There is a new administration. I guess we'll have an inauguration tomorrow, I guess, for Zelina Vega, who won the U.S. championship from Chelsea Green last week. Apparently, Chelsea's taken some time off, which very well deserved. As little as they gave her to do with that title, she made every second of it count, which she has done since she's been there. So, yeah, we'll see what they do here. Honestly, I think the U.S. and the Intercontinental title will kind of swap position-wise, not necessarily shows, but I think the U.S. title is going to go into what we saw with the IC title, where it's just kind of nothing after nothing after nothing, to where I think with everything going on Raw, the IC title is finally going to get pubbed up like it should have been in the first place.
Yes. That's why I think Nia Jax is going to go to the mid card. Yeah, you're trying to pump up the with Becky Lynch and everything with the IC title. There could be.
I would never promote that, Stampede. Sorry, I had to interrupt you. I would never promote that. Good. I don't want to see that at all.
No, I feel what you're saying, but no, what I'm saying is like she's going to go down to the mid card area because of that. To boost her the championship, And I'm happy for her too, Carol. Like, that's why I gave her applause for it because she damn well deserves that title. But with likes of Roxanne Perez coming up, and all these other coming up, that the mid card division is going to look pretty strong here soon.
Yeah, they're going to have to shuffle some of the women on Raw, especially if Roxanne, Julia, and everybody else, kind of comes on Raw to who we have. We're going to have to shuffle a couple people over to SmackDown, a couple of ladies over to SmackDown.
And that's why I think they're doing that draft a little bit earlier than what they're used to, because they're like, oh man, we got to do something, Stephanie Vaquer, she's probably already coming up here soon, Lady Alpha. She's already had three matches on Raw in the last 3 weeks, and she's getting a lot of TV time. There's a lot of things moving around on NXT right now, and there's a lot of great women that could, come up right now and do pretty damn good in my book,
So don't misunderstand what I'm saying, Stampede. I think she has done a good job with what she's been given. I don't think she has been given a lot, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, she should have had an IC championship.
I love Lyra as a wrestler. I think she is a fantastic wrestler. I think she has done well with what they have given her.
Yes.
But I don't think they have given her a lot. She's not going to be the scene stealer, show stealer that Chelsea Green is. So she can't be put in those small situations like that. She needs to have longer, better matches, as an IC title should be, in my opinion, as opposed to the US title. But they haven't given her the opportunity to showcase what she is really good at, to where these little short matches, short things, it would benefited Chelsea a lot more because she can pack a lot more in a smaller punch. So, but yeah, no, I definitely think she's a good wrestler. She's a great champion when she's given the chance to. Like, I loved her NXT run. I've loved everything she's done. I just don't think she's been given the opportunity to be a really great champion just yet. And she did do well on Monday night with the promo, yes. But with Nia going after Tiffany, who's the first person to go after Zelina Vega?
Oof. You're probably right with Candice LeRae, or it could be like, I don't know, man. I really don't. I think you're right with Candice LeRae for sure.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if they bring anybody from NXT in like they
That's
have
what I'm
done.
thinking too.
Like I know Roxanne was like on there for a little bit as well, so there's no telling where she's gonna go, but she seems to be more prominent on Raw.
Yeah.
So I don't think that'll happen. You know, with some of the stuff that happened on NXT, I wonder if you may see a Lash Legend get called up since they were talking about going their separate ways. So maybe she comes up as a singles wrestler. She would be somebody to put in there that could give some really good matches, things like that. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
It is very
You've got
hard.
B-Fab, you've got Michin, you've got Candice LeRae.
It'd be nice
I
to see
mean,
B-Fab win it because she deserves it too. She's really good in the ring, man. A lot of people won't agree with that, but I agree with Alexa Bliss would be nice, but she's coming back in June, I think. I think she had there a couple of people in the Wyatt family or the Wyatt Six got hurt, I believe, right?
Bo got hurt, or Uncle
Bo,
Howdy got hurt. That's why they've been gone.
She might be taking over.
I mean, I would love to see Naomi go after. I'd like to see Naomi take that title, to be completely
but she's also going after
I don't think that's
Jade still, right?
Yeah, they've still. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if she would be the first one. I would like her to take the title from Zelina at some point because I think she deserves the title.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Bo got hurt.
Yeah.
And he just Michin there. I mean, you've got Piper and Alba, but I don't know if they're going to try to stay in the tag team division now that Chelsea's supposedly taken out.
Alba,
I mean, if they separate them, maybe I could see that. I would kind of rather them see. I would rather see them maybe have a flash tag match.
Yeah.
Maybe take the titles from Liv and Raquel since Liv's going to be going with her thing. Yeah, on behalf of the to get revenge, but that could be it, and that may be what they do the next week or so. But eventually, I would like it to be Naomi. I would like to see Naomi take that title. Of everybody on the SmackDown roster right now, I want it to be Naomi, and I wouldn't be opposed if you intertwine that in with this story. And depending on what you're going to do with Bianca, or depending on because I know Bianca hurt her hand, like literally hurt her hand. I saw it like bandaged up last week. So if she's going to be out for a while, something like that, yeah. So if she's going to be out for a minute, let Naomi win that title and maybe have that title Jade versus Naomi at SummerSlam, and that's where Bianca makes her return to pick which side she's going to be on. So, and maybe you have the U.S. title because that would prop up the U.S. title more than it has been ever.
Yeah.
Have a shot on SummerSlam with a rematch of a WrestleMania match with a little bit of a different feel to it. And then have Bianca come in and you don't know whose corner she's going to be in, yada, yada, yada. And then she makes that decision and jumps whoever is the enemy after the match.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. That'd be dope.
And I would love for the Secret Service to stay a tag team. That way it gives me hope that Chelsea Green will someday come in and take that belt back and become a 2-term president.
It's her second term.
And we can't talk about SmackDown without talking about the big one, the TLC match. The Street Profits retain in, honestly, my WWE match of the year, probably.
Ooh, nice.
I enjoyed it that much. I know a lot of people have enjoyed it. I think I would put it up there. If it's not the match of the year, it's close.
Yeah.
Very well deserved. I know everybody's talking about I wish it would have been on WrestleMania. I would have been too, but this is what we got.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they just. Maybe it's not as good if it's on WrestleMania because they don't try to go all out to prove everybody wrong.
Yep.
So, but I agree, TC. But there again, we never know what would have happened.
Well, the best part about this match is everybody put everything out. You've seen it from the very beginning. Every one of them went out there to prove a point, and that's what it was. And they proved a damn point. And the fact that it was on the WrestleMania card lit more fire under these guys than anything.
And that's what I'm saying. Maybe there's a chance they don't do everything that they did, and it's not as good if it's on WrestleMania because, look, I mean, it's a different animal.
No, I feel that. And that's why I asked the question, is this a top 3 TLC match to you? And my number 1 is still the triple threat, Dudley's, Edge and Christian, and the Hardys. Even though they try to recreate the part with and that's where Edge said a lot of this stuff started happening, where he got hurt that day with his head or his neck area.
Yeah.
But this right here, fantastic match. And listen, the crowd needs to start getting into it. All right, you see Montez, you see Tez going at it, you get with it. All right, Tez is doing it. That dude's freaking special. That guy is special.
What's going on, Robert? Welcome in. And I didn't say hello to Jay, who's been in the comments a few times. What's going on, Jay? Good to see you inside, brother. Again, I wish it would have been, much like Stampede says, there's not as much in-ring content in WWE anymore, so there's no way it was probably going to make the WrestleMania card for that reason, because you have to have time for Travis Scott to crawl to the ring, things like that.
Crawl.
Shut up. I'm so tired of that song.
I am too.
I don't know that I've ever agreed with anything Logan Paul said, but watching that little backstage segment where he's like, I'm so tired of hearing that song, I was like, oh my God.
Me and you just be,
I'm not going to go that far because I'm never going to say that. But
I know.
Did I just agree with Logan Paul a little bit? Maybe I did.
Yeah,
and it made me die inside a little bit.
A lot.
And this, that is not the one I tried to get. That would be very interesting. I don't know how obviously it would have to be post draft because Kyrie's technically Raw. But with the draft coming up, anything's possible. I would rather see Kyrie. And have you seen the pictures of Kyrie Sane lately?
Yeah,
she's getting jacked.
Yeah, she looks good. She says
she's never been in bad shape, but good Lord, she's gotten swole.
Be easy, Vig.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Michael. I'm like, did you eat Kyrie Sane as a protein shake or something? Good Lord.
She's a clone, right? Instead of getting mini me, we got Jack Kyrie. Yeah.
Appreciate you, Vig. Appreciate you coming in. Have a great night. Yes, I realize she's very accomplished everywhere. She's a champion pretty much everywhere she's been.
Everywhere.
But I've never seen her the size she is now, like the mass she has right now, because I'm not even going to call it just big, but it looks like she's on a whole different level. And I'm not even sure where we got there, how we got there from what we were talking about on the triple threat match. But yeah, it's pretty much my match of the year. Squirrel. I see squirrels too. It's okay.
It's okay.
But yeah, it's pretty much my match of the year so far. I'm okay with it not being on WrestleMania just because you never know if it's on WrestleMania how much different it is. Maybe it loses some of its luster depending on where it's at on the card. Everything like that. It is what it is. It got put where it got put, and they put on a hell of a match.
Real quick, and I know this is not technically WrestleMania week when it hit Friday, though, but just how awesome is it that two tag team matches take the top two spots for WrestleMania week, best matches of the week. AEW with the Young Bucks last week. All right, and then this week, again on Friday, this triple threat right here. It's like, man, and I had just said the Young Bucks just had a freaking great match. What the heck is going on here? Oh man, something's not right.
Well, Carol, to speak on your question, where does Damian Priest go from here? I would like to see a program with him and Jacob Fatu. I think those would be some really good matches.
I just want to see him in a program with Little Jimmy. I'm playing.
But I think they could. I think they could showcase very well what each other does between Jacob and Damian. Damian should win. Let me put that. Or not Damian. Jacob should win. I'm sorry. I misspoke. I misspoke. I was looking at the comment and meant to say Jacob. Jacob should win. And I will say that one more time for anybody who's confused. Jacob should win. But I think they could both put on very good matches because they're both very hard hitting. And I think it would bring even more of that hard hitting style out of Damian even more than he has with some of the stuff with Drew. He's gotten back to that a little bit, but I think this would. It would help him out in the ring. I don't know. They're different styles.
They are.
Damian is more long form promo, kind of, I guess is the best way to put it. Where Jacob's more,
straight
shotgun,
No, he's straight gangster. That SA comes in straight up like, I'm about to murder you with this words right here. All right. You just sit down, shut the hell up, and don't even freaking look at me. Okay. This is my food.
Because it's WWE, and they would find a way to do it.
It is WWE, man. Yeah. WWE will find a way real quick.
If that's what tells the best story for both of them, I mean, they can do a number one contenders tournament. They can do, I mean, there's a million ways they could put it together. He is a former world champion. So let's not discredit the fact that he is a former world champion. Going after the U.S. title.
Well, I mean, he was really good as a North American champion. People discredit this dude real quick. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not saying
we forget last year he was the world champion.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He was the world champion.
So yeah, I mean, if he wants a title shot, there's a lot of credence there that he says he could at least get a shot for a title shot. He can get put in a more contenders match. He can get put in a tournament. He can get put in a battle royal. There's a lot of different ways that you could put that in there where he could get there. Or he can just come in and leg drop him just like Nia did. And Nia wasn't even on WrestleMania.
Straight up.
So yeah, there's definitely a ton of ways you could get there. I just would like to see that match.
That'd be a hard-hitting match.
But a match we are going to see that I'm going to enjoy a lot, that I don't think will last a long time.
30 seconds.
Next week we get the repercussions from that segment we talked about earlier. Aleister Black makes his debut for WWE against none other than The Miz. I would say who's going to win this match, but there's no reason to. We all know Aleister Black's going to win it. Over under this match lasting 30 seconds.
I'm saying under. I'm saying at 30 seconds. Boom. Even.
Not including entrances, because we know the entrance itself will last a couple of minutes.
Well, yeah, Aleister Black's entrance takes 2 minutes for him to come up. And then, you have to hear, about the good and evil for about 5 minutes. I know. But this is a family show.
If this was the SmackDown Shakedown and we were on After Dark, I would have made that joke.
I know. If we were just on Twitch, you'd be allowed to make that joke.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kick, actually. I forgot about that. Hi, Kick. How you guys doing?
Oh, hey, Kick. They're like the stepchild that nobody remembers.
Yeah,
they're there. Thank you, everybody, for watching us on Kick. We appreciate you.
We love you. We forgot about y'all. You're gonna lie right now.
Oh, if nobody knew we weren't professionals, they know it now. This is great.
They know it now.
I don't know of a whole lot else going on SmackDown next week, so we will move right along to Monday Night Raw, where we saw a new contender come in. Speaking of people who are getting title shots that nobody expected, Logan Paul is going to challenge Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship at Backlash. Yeah, that's happening. At least he won at WrestleMania, to Stampede's point. He did win his match at WrestleMania, so he gives a little credence there. And he is a former U.S. champion. So how are you feeling about this match?
I hate it. I'm not even remotely excited about this. This right here has a better chance at winning a Kentucky Derby with a donkey than it does grabbing my attention. Yeah, this is a terrible filler match.
You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that at all, Eddie Alpha, because I agree with TC. This is strictly food for Jay.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. This is a terrible filler.
This will be the equivalent of feeding R-Truth to Bronson Reed, except the opposite.
That's messed up.
They are giving them the biggest hated person on the roster, and they're saying, okay, go out there and make our champion look good.
Yep.
Which will happen.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's going to yeet twice as hard.
Not me.
Of that, there you go, TC.
I'm not.
Everybody's going to yeet twice as hard because they want Logan Paul to get his butt kicked. Jay's going to come out, win a match. They're going to have a spot that's going to make a YouTube clip that gets 1 million views or whatever. And then Jay will win and yeet some more. So this feud does exactly what they want it to do. And to be honest, it is the perfect feud for Jay coming off of what he just did. There's no jeopardy. There's no peril. Nobody thinks he's going to lose. and it's going to get him cheered even more than he already is.
You know, the way you described that, the way you just described that is no use for
And that's incorrect. That's just completely wrong, Stampede. I love you, and I agree with a lot of stuff you said, but that is the use for Logan Paul, is to have him go in there and Jay kick his ass and everybody cheer for Jay even more.
Well, I mean,
if you think Jay's over now, Jay's going to be over twice as much as Backlash.
They did that with Roman.
Because even the people that are on the fence about Jay, even the people that are, well, Jay's okay, but Jay can't wrestle, Jay can't do this, I don't like Jay doing that, I don't like the yeet. Even people, this will be the closest Sped will ever get to yeeting because he hates Logan Paul that much.
I would never yeet.
And that's exactly what the use for Logan Paul is right now.
Yeah, and
they're using him perfectly.
Yeah, they are. And, well, I was gonna say, this whole thing though, like they did the same thing with Roman, over in Saudi Arabia with Logan Paul versus Roman, at that time. And but I mean, no yeet. I can't see this match lasting more than 15 minutes though, to be honest with you.
Probably not, but it doesn't have to.
No, it doesn't. It's good. It's gonna get the job done. It's gonna get. Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys are playing that game, our sponsor, Marvel Strike Force, use the code REWARD7 right there. Reward7, and you get a bunch of rewards for using that code. I just saw it pop up. He said, "Hold on, I gotta try this.
I gotta get my shit."
I know.
I'm trying to hurt folks. I'm trying to be like the Hurt Syndicate. I want to hurt people.
I want to hurt people too. Join our freaking alliance, the Run In Wrestling Podcast, the Run In Dash. You got to dash it in between the run in. But yeah, no, this is exactly what you said. It's gonna be a upper for Jay, and Logan's gonna do his job and leave for a little bit until Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I mean, or Money in the Bank, whichever comes
Money
first.
in the Bank,
comes first.
I think Money in the Bank comes first.
And yes, we did speed over it. It was one of the best moments where Montez pulls the leg or gets handed the prosthetic leg by the fan in the crowd and uses it. It was. I enjoyed it. It was funny. But I wanted to focus on how just great the rest of the match was, as opposed to the funny spot, which it was very funny.
I loved it.
And yes, we all saw it.
No,
there's a yeet from Jay. Next up, Penta cost the Judgment Day in their match. Obviously, I guess we're leading to more of a feud with the Judgment Day and Penta. Where does this go from here?
I think it leads to. Listen, I'm still a firm believer that they're about to break up. Finn's about to turn on Dom. Dom's about to turn on Finn. JD and Penta are going to go into their own, little thing. JD's about to get a good push too, I think. But I found out I'm not allowed to do the Penta walk down shopping aisles anymore because it embarrasses my daughters and my wife.
That's the whole point of being a dad, is to do stuff.
I know.
You
You
should do it more. What are you talking about? Can't do it.
I just busted it out just for no reason too. I didn't start walking.
Yes, he's everywhere. Because everybody loves Penta. Penta's awesome.
Everybody loves Penta. But yeah, no, I don't know, man. Penta can.
I tried to do the Penta strut, and then I got an email from Penta who felt that I was doing the Penta strut, and it was so bad he said stop.
Yeah, he said, lo siento, alto, por favor. Yeah. No más.
Penta's like, look, you're messing up my shit. Stop it. I can feel it from halfway across the world.
I can feel it. I see. I love him. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it should be a good feud. I'm glad to see JD back. I'm glad to see a lot of stuff they're doing with him. I do think he's going to get pushed too because he kind of got cheered. Everybody's getting cheered right now except for Finn. So I kind of think we're seeing where all this is going. They have a good opportunity now with Liv going to be gone. The person who's trying to kind of hold those two together a little bit isn't there anymore. JD will kind of take that role, I guess, in trying to keep the family together since he's just not back.
It's gonna fail.
You saw him, how he was happy for being back, but hey, I thought they were going to tell you. I thought they were going to say something. Why didn't you say something? So he's going to kind of play that in between role now that Liv's kind of been playing, not really, but kind of sort of. Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. We're all waiting for them to break up, and I guess see probably a Finn Dom match for the Intercontinental title 1-on-1. That'd be pretty.
That'd be dope. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mentor versus the student. You know, that's how it kind of it feels.
A little bit, yeah. That feels like it would be more the next match if Finn wins, because it would be Finn and JD, because that's really a lot more into that.
Yeah, that is the men. Yeah, but if you think about it, like when the Judgment Day started, Finn was they brought Dom in that match that Dom turned on Ray. Ray was facing Finn and not Drew, Damien. It was Ray and somebody else, Edge or Adam Copeland. Cope, that's his name now. That's his name, Cope.
We get there eventually. It's okay.
Hey, but yeah, yeah. I lost where I was going with this because I couldn't remember his name.
Do we think? I don't know. I don't.
Not yet.
I don't want to see the Demon because look, I've given Dominic Mysterio a lot of props on this show the past couple of weeks. Have I not?
Yeah, you have. Yeah,
yes or no?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't think Dominic Mysterio is the level of competition that should bring out the Demon. No offense to Dom.
No.
The character he's playing is not this is the only thing I can do to get past you. Now, if he wants to go after maybe one of the main champions, if he gets drafted over and tries to go after, a Jacob Fatu or a Cena or somebody like that, then yes.
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio, not so much.
No.
John Cena only because of the moment that it's the WWE Championship, not because I think Cena's on the same level.
As long as we don't get that stupid heartbeat freaking revival, demon.
Next up, you have the main event segment. Sami Zayn given the opportunity to join the new group. Seth reaching out the olive branch to one of his best friends behind the scenes. Somebody who gave him father advice when his kids were born. And Sami saying no. And you can see I changed your title down there. Is should Sami have taken the deal and moved over and gotten a title shot, or did Sami make the right decision?
I think he should have taken the deal. Nobody needs to get curb stomped and speared out of like torpedoes. Man, that dude's running 20 plus off the ropes. You don't want to get speared like that 3 times.
23, if you believe what WWE says. 23 miles per hour.
I'm gonna need a policeman out there with a gun, one of the radar guns, and clocking him. Every time he hits it.
I'm surprised they don't have that since they brought the decibel meter back. Surprised they don't have like a speed gun out there, like Michael Cole sitting out there with the little. I don't either.
I don't believe that.
If nothing else, it's not synced up because when they were doing Rhea's entrance, it was right after the entrance and they had kind of died down and it still said it was like 100 and something. And I'm like, but nobody's making any noise right now.
Nobody's making
if nothing else, it's not synced up perfectly, so it makes it seem very bad.
Catching the music. Yeah, that's believable because they got that thing so loud when you're there. Yeah. This type of deal.
I have not heard an official name for the group yet.
No, but everybody out there saying that Braun Breaker's not benefiting from this, you guys don't know wrestling. He's benefiting big time from this right now. This kid's so young. He is doing some great stuff.
Braun's Breaker. That's pretty funny. Good job, Jay. I like that one.
He is freaking crazy, man. That dude's a freak.
I like that a lot. But the bronze for all the Tanners, I like that a lot. That's funny.
That is funny. I like that. I say presentation. Yeah. Yep. Yes. I know what I was gonna say was I like how before he curb stomped Sami, he looked at Braun and he was like, sometimes you have to do things like this for the greater good. And then he turned around. He goes, he made his bed and now he's got to lay in it. And then he turned around and just bam. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. And that gave me Messiah vibes. The Messiah. And I loved it. I was like, yeah, this is where it needs to be.
Yeah, I'm really digging the new group.
I am too.
I don't know that I want them to add somebody right now, but I definitely want them to
Don't.
add some more people here pretty soon.
Don't.
And Ron's good, but I mean, he definitely had way too much spray tan on this week, and it's not the first time.
He did. My wife was laughing at Paul Heyman's spray tan a couple weeks ago or last week when they showed him. You could definitely tell he was wearing something on his face. Yeah, and she was like, "How much does he pay for that?" I was like, "Probably thousands of dollars." She said, "That's horrible."
But and this is the main reason I posted this question about did Sammy make the decision, because I think Sammy made the most selfish decision of his life.
Yeah, I do too.
He made the decision that made him feel better instead of the right decision for his family, for his fans, for his career. He could have taken that deal. There are people that work their entire careers to get a world title shot.
Never get it.
And you were handed one and said no.
Yep. Guys who deserve it.
Sammy just being selfish like that. I mean, Karrion Kross has been right the entire time. That's all I got to say.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Kross has been right the whole time.
Selfish. What he is.
Selfish.
And the plan is apparently not to add anyone to it. And that's fair. I mean,
that's
they don't
fine.
have to. It's really good the way it is.
They don't need to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good with it staying. I would like to see somebody else, but if not, then you know what? It is what it is.
Exactly.
And he is from the same neck of the woods. Not that Ron has a neck.
Wait, I'm from that area. Well, I'm from Cobb County area. So you up in I'm not gonna say there, but it starts with a K. You're in that area,
really?
Right?
Do you live on Pine Street?
I'm not gonna be like, listen, do you live right off of such and such, Red Top Mountain? You live near there?
Do you live in that blue house over there on the corner?
Yeah, I'm not gonna be like that. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say the road.
Like look, I get it. There's not a lot of people that watch us, but there are more people that watch us than you think.
I know, and that's why I'm like, hold on, I gotta make sure I don't go out and be like, hey, do you live in this? Okay, fair enough. I just don't. I don't want to like.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, I know. See, that's what I'm saying. I knew. I just want to say this is the K area because I didn't want to say Kennesaw. And then she'd be like, "Oh yeah, people know he went to Kennesaw State."
I was gonna say, didn't he go to Kennesaw State? I knew that.
Yeah, he's an owl. He's an owl.
Ooh. Wait, I thought Kofi was an owl.
K-State. No, Kofi went to Boston College. I thought he's an eagle.
Killing me.
Like, listen, he's not an owl anymore. They don't do
Kofi goes. Ooh.
They don't do that no more.
But it's still funny. Next topic.
I love you.
Next week coming up on Monday Night Raw, two great matches. We've already talked about Penta and JD, which is going to be an incredible match, but the one everybody's waiting on because it is the big return of Rusev to the ring. Thank God for Tozawa that we're not getting Rusev versus Tozawa first like we kind of thought. It is going straight to Rusev and Otis. As Big E would say, it's big meaty men slapping meat.
Or
and I'm here for it.
Be like,
I like it.
Mate.
Yeah, I forget his saying. I like Big E's better.
Big E's is better.
So I will ask you. I'm obviously more excited about Rusev versus Otis. Which one of these are you more excited to see?
Definitely Rusev Otis. Look, I love JD and I like Penta. Don't get it twisted. But it's Rusev versus Otis. This is what Booker T would all. This is meat. Like a bunch of meat going on in here.
No bread, no water, all meat.
No water, no bread, no water, just meat. Yeah, I wish I could do it the way he says it. That's dope. But
I wish you could too. We'd make a lot more money.
I know, that'd be awesome. But yeah, no, Rusev coming back. And people are making fun of his new gimmick and everything. We'll see how it works out.
It's not really a new gimmick. Let's be fair. It's not really a new gimmick.
I know. But the IWC is quick to judge real fast. The Redeemer.
I mean, that's basically what it is. It's basically his AEW.
Yeah, that's what people they're quick to judge it. Like I don't know, man.
And look, it's been said a lot that the wrestlers in AEW get a lot of say in their
they have more
their
freedom.
characters, their gimmicks,
Yeah.
and they have a lot more creative license to do what they want to do.
Mhm.
And obviously it's something that he enjoys. So I'm glad to see that they're not just pushing him back into the regular Rusev
Yes.
that we all saw, because they could have very easily came over and said, all right, here's your flag. Go out there and yell Rusev Day and let's go, because everybody's going to cheer it and everybody's going to love it. That they're letting him be the same kind of character that I'm sure he had a lot of hand in developing in AEW when he was there. That they're letting him do that. The same with Aleister Black, same with everybody else that's come over. You look at Ricky Saints, you look at All Ego. A lot of them aren't different from the characters they had in AEW. And I think that says a lot about the Triple H era, that they're letting them come in and be themselves, be those characters that they wanted to be. And now they're just where they want to be. For whatever reason.
I was
That's
gonna
how it worked
say
out.
the character that he was in AEW, Miro, won him a TNT championship, and he looked good with that title. And people, and I understand there's diehards in AEW, and I understand there's diehards in WWE. But if you go back and watch that,
Good night, Michael.
if you go back and watch that, it's one of those things that it won him a title. He did great with that title. He had a great title run. This is when the TNT title was actually relevant and not something else, like just a decorative piece that's sitting over on the mantle over there.
But I mean, he got no higher in AEW than he did at WWE. He was a mid-card champion at WWE.
Yes, exactly.
He was a mid-card champion there. I'm hoping that with the new character in the kind of new place, he can put that together and then elevate himself into a world champion.
I was thinking stays on Raw, and then he potentially could get the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes, I would like to see him and Jay down the road. That would be a lot of fun to watch.
That'd be nice. Or him, and I'm not even gonna lie. If this ever happens, this would be a great match. But him versus Bronson Reed for a championship would probably be fire.
Yeah, but it seems like they're making him a heel going after Otis, and I don't know that you want to put them heel on heel right there. That's the only reason I say Jay more than that.
When Bronson comes back, they'll probably make him a baby face for some, or probably back to it. Look, I don't know what they're gonna do with Bronson, and I don't even know when he's coming back. Yeah,
I don't know. He's been putting stuff out, so
he has.
He did.
Yeah, he did. He had a great record, and he had a great title run over there. People would just sleep on him. I don't understand it. I don't get this whole tribalistic bull crap, because AEW guys, there's guys over there in AEW, Takesha being number one, that could come over to WWE and win the major title right now. I'm talking.
Yeah, that's not a good example though, because Takesha could go anywhere.
Oh, he's the best wrestler. Okay. What's his name? Dante. What's Speedball? You got Speedball, Mike Bailey, right?
Yeah, Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yes. Yeah. He could run with the US title pretty easily. Yeah, I see. That's what I thought. I thought he was gonna be out until maybe August, September timeframe. He broke both of his ankles, I believe.
Yeah. And that was only back in October. So yeah, he's still got a little while. Ooh. So yeah, a couple of really good matches. And that's kind of my point, Carol. He had the 31-5 record, but it's almost like he was never there. And to be fair, I didn't watch AEW as much during that time. Earlier, I've kind of gotten more into it over the past year or so.
Yeah,
year or two maybe. But it just didn't seem like I would have watched more if I had seen him on my TV more, because Rusev is somebody I really enjoyed in WWE. And when I heard he was moving over, that's kind of one of the things that piqued my interest, because I wanted to see what he would do there, because I thought they didn't use him very well towards the end. I mean, we all saw the League of Nations BS and all that other stuff that he went through towards the end there.
I think that's what killed him.
When I thought he was going to come out and be just on fire, killer kind of, and it just seemed like that never really happened from whatever point, for whatever reason. So I realized there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't see.
Yeah.
And that is all for Monday Night Raw. Anything else we missed on Monday Night Raw that you can think of?
Not right now, honestly.
Okay. I mean, other than the Liv announcement that she's going to be leaving, so we
Yeah,
found
they
out
won't
she's
give
going to be on a
Dom.
movie, but so
They
that
won't give Dom a break, but they'll give Liv a break.
so hopefully Adam Pearce is feeling better. He was legitimately sick, had to miss the
Yeah.
show, so hopefully you're feeling better. Get Nick Aldis back on Friday where he belongs. Over to NXT, say his name, and he came back. Obviously, after last week, Trick Williams goes over to TNA and attacks Joe Hendry after Joe Hendry showed up last week at NXT. Hendry comes out, calls out Trick again, and then all of a sudden, the lights go out and they start flashing, and Deep State goes after Joe Hendry.
Oh yeah.
What do you make of that?
Basically, these guys don't give a damn who you are. They're just gonna beat you up and ask questions later. It's like the Cobb County Police, in Georgia. They're gonna whoop your ass and then ask questions later. Yeah.
I agree. I mentioned earlier I would like to see the Secret Harvest stay together, Piper and Alba, and then maybe have Liv out there on Friday nights promoting her new movie, and then get a surprise tag team match tomorrow night, and then have them take the titles off of them since she's not going to be there for a while. I don't know if they'll do that, but that's what I hope they do. Sorry, had to punt that in there with Stampede. Yeah, I mean, Dark State doesn't give a damn who you are. They're just going to take you out. They're going to fight you. It does set up a very interesting match next week on NXT. You've got 3 members of Dark State, which I'm going to guess is everybody but Cutler James, because it seems like he's usually the odd man out in that trio. I don't know why they don't let Osiris Griffin sit out since he's missing half of his fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they've decided to kind of let Cutler sit back. I know he's the newest of the group as far as wrestling experience. Yeah, we're going to get them against the dream team, I guess, of the TNA World Champion Joe Hendry and the brand new NXT Tag Team Champions, your boys Hank and Tank. You looking forward to that match next week?
Yeah, I actually am. I like Joe Hendry though. And seeing that TNA World Champion, awesome. Seeing that World Championship, TNA World Championship on a WWE program is phenomenal. All right. Yep. I've been watching TNA for years. I never thought this was going to happen. Yeah, I would like to see someone else holding that title and facing Trick or, Oba here soon. But, TNA's in a good spot. It's in a real good spot right now. And Joe Hendry is the leader of it. And, we'll see what happens next week, though. And hopefully the title holders keep the W.
I hope so. I mean, I don't think they're gonna have. Well, I don't know. With it being Dark State, it's
NXT, man.
I'm sure Trick's gonna get involved.
Yeah,
I would be shocked if Trick doesn't get involved in the match.
If he's not there tonight.
He may be. I don't know. I haven't been watching. Not a fan of either, unless it's an emergency type situation. I mean, if he's leaving, it's an emergency type situation.
No, I feel that.
Sorry, I was reading a different comment. Next up, Ricky Saints. The revolution continues. Retains his North American title against Lexus King. Yeah, I mean, it was a decent match. I mean, it wasn't my favorite match of the night. What'd you think?
It was I mean, that title is beautiful. I love that strap. I love that title. I like seeing that title, man. It just shines every time you see it. But I mean, what are they doing with Lexus King? Like, he just seems like he's on a downfall now, doesn't he?
A little bit. He's kind of on the downswing. Lost his North American, or not his North American, his
Heritage Cup.
Heritage Cup. That's what I'm trying to say. Lost that last week to Supernova. Welcome back to
Noam Dar.
Noam Dar, the Supernova.
Freaking love that guy.
What is this? That's true. That's fair. If they've known she's going to be leaving for a while, it's not an emergency. But they've played it out to be that way, I guess, on TV. But you're right. It's not necessarily an emergency situation. I understand what you're saying there.
If we're still talking about that, why drop the damn titles at WrestleMania just to get them back the next day?
So Becky could have her moment in her heel turn all in the next 2 days. I mean that's all that was for Becky. Was for the pop for the crowd and to get Becky back in, and then they make Becky even more of a heel. And while I'm not crazy about how they did it to Bayley, if it's going to elevate the IC title and Lyra, because she's going to get elevated in this program with Becky, and then elevate Bayley when she comes back, because that's very well could be a SummerSlam match. Bayley versus Becky for the IC championship at SummerSlam. I'm here for all of that. Next up, Io Sky makes an appearance on NXT, tagging with Jordan Grace against Roxanne Perez and Julia, the newly formed, I guess, tag team. They're kind of frenemies, maybe.
Frenemies.
And again, just a really good match. You know, four men involved are very good wrestlers. So it was going to be a really good match. You know, obviously the right person stood tall at the end. You should not have your champion go down there and look weak. So they definitely made her look good. It will push some of the narrative. You know, next week we're getting Jordan Grace versus Julia for a number one contender. So we're pushing that story along. Good match, good story. What'd you think?
I liked every second of it. Best women's, roster on the planet right now in my book. Like you said, you don't bring Io down and make her lose. Yeah, you knew she was going to win. But sorry about that. Heartburn. But like this whole makeshift tag team, if you were going to bring both of them up, right? Why don't you put one on Raw and one on SmackDown? You know what I'm saying? And then just got a request to wrestle for someone in Japan. Nice. But yeah,
because the drafts come in and you can move other people.
Yeah, I understand.
Netflix wants the bigger stars. You can draft Ivy Nile. You can draft. There's a lot of other people you could draft.
Ivy Nile for that U.S. title would be perfect.
So yeah, there's a lot of other people. There's history there between Ivy and Zelina.
Yeah,
she can come over there and just start bullying Zelina around. So I mean, there's a lot of ways you could tell that, but and there's no guarantee that both of them will be on Raw.
That's what I forgot. Monday night, when Chad Gable looked at Penta and goes, "Best thing about WrestleMania was watching El Grande Americano beat your brother."
That was pretty good.
I was like, "Damn, that was a hard line."
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, definitely good progression of the women's story here. You know, you had the match that was great because of the 4 women involved. Again, you're getting the number one contenders match next week. Jordan Grace versus Julia. I'm glad they're finally doing a number one contenders match instead of throwing a 3-way again like they've done the past few PLEs for NXT. Right. I hope something doesn't happen and it turns into a 3-way, which I know it very well can because it is NXT and it happens and it's WWE. I would like just one of them to win. I mean, if they're really going to call up Julia soon or they're really going to call up Stephanie, I would like to see just Stephanie versus Julia in NXT one time before they both leave. So as much as I love Jordan Grace, I hope Julia wins and we just get a straight up one-on-one again. I know they had one for the unification of the title, but I want to see another one before they both go up there. Yeah, I would too. I mean, Ivy Nile's progressed leaps and bounds.
Yeah. Ivy's amazing. Yeah.
Which does bring me to next week. We have the other number one contender for Obafemi's title. It is a battle royal featuring NXT, LFG, and Evolve talent. So you've got a talent from both of the undercards of NXT as well as NXT. 25 men, which the most interesting thing to me on here is there's a lot of teams involved.
Yeah, I see that.
I see Tyson and Tyreek up there. I see the No Quarter Catch crew up there. You've got, some of the guys from Evolve that are the tag team, Swipe Right or something like that down there. You've got Inamura and Briggs in there as well. You've got all of the guys from the Culling in there together. So it's going to be very interesting how this plays out. The LFG's guys in there are kind of an odd choice for me. Just as someone who watches LFG, I would not have expected it to be Chris Island and Shiloh Hill. I would have thought they would have had like a Jasper Troy or somebody like that that's a little bit more along. Especially Chris Island. Shallow Hill I like, but Chris Island seems to be one of the ones that's kind of behind a little bit. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure why he's gotten that spot. Maybe we'll find out on LFG this week.
So he gets thrown into the first row.
Maybe that's possible. I'm glad to see Rich Holland in there.
Yeah.
You know, you got Tyreek Tyson and Wes Lee who have been a group. So it's going to be very interesting how things shake out in this with so many teams. I want to say I like Timothy Thatcher that is returning to NXT. I noticed him right there next to All Ego Ethan Page.
Right there, yep.
Maybe a dark horse to win it just because I like him a lot. But it should be very interesting. So out of the people you see on there, I mean, I've kind of mentioned a few I wanted in, Thatcher, and I'm not going to be mad at anybody from the No Quarter Catch crew winning. Who do you want to see winning this?
Oh, man, I do want to see Charlie win this, to be honest, but I can see Trick winning. Teenagers.
See,
really
I don't want to see Trick and Oba anymore. Let Trick go mess around with Joe Hendry for a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
I'm tired of seeing Trick and Oba.
And that's why I want to go with Charlie in this case, but I really don't know, man. Like, All Ego could do it again. You can have Charlie go in it, Trick, Briggs for one match. As
long as you don't say one name.
Oh, I'm not saying no.
You know what name I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I didn't even mention him.
No.
That's the only person I would rather see Trick win over. And
yes.
I wish he wasn't even in the match.
Yes. No, I get that.
So, but it should be a good match. Look, it's stacked up to be a good NXT next week. You've got this Contenders Battle Royal. You've got the number one Contenders match between Julia and Jordan. You've got there's a 6-man tag between Dark State and then Joe Hendry and Hank and Tank. So a lot of good stuff coming on NXT. And that's the show we know the most about. I mean, I just named 3 matches. I couldn't name 3 matches on Raw, SmackDown, or AEW next week.
Oh, man. So, I even hit you up and was like, yo, did they even announce anything last night for matches? I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Which we don't, but we do have to talk about Dynamite yesterday. We both watched it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good Dynamite.
Liked it. Yeah, I thought it was a good Dynamite. Very enjoyable. Went by real quick.
And sorry, I did post that, but yeah, Swipe Right is terrible. I'm not a fan of Swipe Right, which I guess is kind of the point, because they're supposed to be annoying. So, first up, you started off with a absolute all-star tag match.
This was a great match.
Ricochet and Okada versus Omega. Speedball Mike Bailey,
yes,
Kevin Knight, and Mark Briscoe. Hey, I remembered them all right off my head.
Yes.
Amazing match.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And it ended
that is a fair point, Stampede. Fair point.
Yeah, that's why it was very easy to breeze through Raw and SmackDown for us. But this right here, this was a great way to start. Oh my God, 25 minutes this match went, I think it went. And
it went a while. It was
and it was brutal, and the way they ended it was amazing. All right, yeah, it was a little trip up, a little outside interference from Ricochet, but at the end, man, you can see Nick and Mac just all like, "Thank you, brother, thank you," the whole time on the entrance. This was a great match. This moment
in particular, that I'm glad you picked this moment to put a picture of, because this was the funniest moment in.
I know. I know.
So where he realizes it's Ricochet and he grabs his head and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, I know. My bad.
I laughed out loud.
I was like, "This is great." Yeah, this was a great match. It just goes
to show you that in a very serious, hard hitting match that's amazing, that you can still have funny moments like this.
Oh yeah. Oh man, this was one of those matches that you're gonna be like, damn, this was a great TV match. They got good length too. Good length of time to do it.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. I loved every second of it. So do you agree with the winner?
Oh yeah. They're pushing, Ricochet, and they're pushing, of course, the Elite. Okada versus Omega is gonna be phenomenal whenever that happens. The
energy in the ring when they stood face to face in that match for
that's what I was getting at earlier.
It was good Lord, it's crazy.
I know, and in the crowd, man, they're eating it up. That's what I'm saying. When they actually they're wrestling for unification here soon, right? Of the
Yeah.
continental and
Yeah, Double or
international.
Nothing.
Yeah, all right. Well, I mean,
Pretty
that's
sure
gonna
it's at Double
be
or Nothing.
either way, it's gonna break the internet.
Oh yeah, because I think it's the first time on U.S. soil that they've
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's gonna break the internet, man.
yeah, and they built
Yeah.
it perfectly because they kind of teased it, especially at the beginning, and they oh yeah, it was great.
Oh no, the whole crowd. I got into. I was like, oh my god, I gotta be quiet. My daughter's just sleeping. Yeah, because I'm sitting there going, oh.
And tell me if I'm right, Stampede. That is happening at Double or Nothing, right? Okada Omega.
Might be all out. I can't wait for it. Oh man,
Oh, so likely to be at All In. I thought they had already said it
all
was going to be
in.
Double or Nothing.
Okay,
Maybe not.
okay.
I know that they've talked about it. Maybe they haven't announced it for Double or Nothing yet.
Either
I
way,
mean,
that
it
match
should
is
probably
gonna
be on All
slap.
In because All In's the bigger show,
And you know
so
what?
it
We
should
might have
probably
to
be
get
there
that. I might
because
have to buy
that's
that pay-per-view.
probably one of the biggest wrestling matches
Instead
in
of streaming.
history on U.S. soil.
Might actually have to buy the pay-per-view instead of streaming it
So,
off of websites.
yeah, that's All In is definitely one I'm going to buy.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to buy Double or Nothing. I haven't decided yet, but All In is definitely one I'm going to buy. Next up, you had Toni Storm defending her world championship with a victory. Another great match. Look, I'm a huge fan of Toni Storm. Everything
Love
she
her.
does. What do you think of the match?
Loved it. Like it's either Monet or Monet or
What's going on, Big
Hater.
Nick?
What's going on, brother? It's either Monet or Hater next, right? Not Hater.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's Jamie Hayter or Monet because they've got the finals next Wednesday
Next Wednesday.
or this
Yep.
coming Wednesday to see
that-
who
that-
faces her at Double or Nothing.
This match, I mean, I know I'm gonna say her name wrong, and I'm really sorry. Miyu, I want to say. I know she's a
Just stay
loner.
there.
I know she's a loner. Okay, from a different company over in Japan, and I can't remember the company's name right now. But one of these days she's gonna get swiped up. She is phenomenal in that ring, man. Did you see how well she was going? She looks smooth, real smooth. I was having a great time watching that match.
And for those who don't know, check out Nick on the Wrestling for Life network. They do live streams of every show.
And they got the biggest
pretty much every night.
The biggest beards.
Yeah, if you like watching along, there's a couple of good watch alongs. They are definitely one of them that I enjoy. You also have Graps TV that I enjoy, especially AEW. He does a lot of AEW watch alongs. He does it for a lot of stuff, but I extremely enjoy his AEW stuff. So I know Stampede's in there a lot in their comments, giving some stuff too. There we go. Miyu Yamashita.
Yamashita.
Yeah, that's why I stayed away from her name because I couldn't remember how to pronounce her last name. Thank you, Stampede, for putting it up there.
Thank you.
I knew it was Miyu, but I could not remember her last name.
Okay.
Signed to New Japan or what? TJPW.
TJ.
So yeah. No, it's not. It's not Stardom. It's
not yet.
It's Stampede there. Yeah, it's just a great match. I mean, sometimes it's good. Kind of what Stampede alluded to. Sometimes it's good just to have a good wrestling match on your wrestling program.
Yep.
Sometimes I know it's a novel idea a lot of times, but sometimes that's a good way to go.
So sometimes it's the best way to go.
Yep. You also have Hangman Adam Page defeating Kyle Fletcher in an amazing match. Kyle Fletcher getting the weirdest color that I think I've ever seen in wrestling. How that even happens where you just get blood right there is odd, but it was funny how they sold it. Right there at the small of his back, the lower part of your back. I get it. It happened when he whipped him into the barricade. He kind of got rubbed up against the barricade there. Yep. But I mean, it's something I've never seen before. It's very interesting, and they highlighted it in the match. Oddly enough, even though it was something that didn't really happen, and just made it even better. I thought it was a really good match. I could watch these two wrestle a lot more. I thought I would get the win here, to be completely honest, so he could go face Will Ospreay and have their next match. But I'm excited to see Hangman and Ospreay go at it.
Okay, you guys are probably gonna think, Spared, you're messed up. I see this. This can be a great match. Hangman was a pay-per-view on Wednesday Night TV.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That match was freaking phenomenal. But what I'm about to say is, this Ospreay Hangman match is going to be amazing. All right, but something tells me that Hangman is AEW savior. He's the one that beats Mox. He's the one that takes.
See, that's
the
weird because
title.
I've said it's been Ospreay for a while. I've said forever that it's Ospreay.
But last night, when I was watching this, and I know you've been saying Ospreay. But when I was watching this, I started thinking, like, man, something tells me that it's Hangman. Hangman is the man that's going to beat, because he can get to that vicious side. We've seen him do what Moxley can do, and then some in the ring, And I get it. Ospreay is probably third in the world right now, second to third in the world right now as a wrestler, best wrestler in the world.
I will defer to Stampede on that.
No. I'm saying Takeshi's number one. So no matter what, he's second or third to me. Yeah, he's in my one. He's in my top three. Don't get it twisted. But
yeah, you're fine. I'm just
he doesn't.
He would be in my top three, but there's a lot of guys over in Japan that I know are in that conversation, and I don't know them. So that's why I said I would just default to Sped on that, or Sped to Stampede on that.
Stampede. No, I feel you.
I default to Sped on everything else, so it's okay. Don't get jealous.
No. But no, I love this match. I thought this was a great match. Fletcher is one of those guys that they're building, and they're building right. Yeah, they're building him right, and I like it.
Yeah, he flies into the face 100% of people that say AEW can't build a star.
Exactly.
Yes, I know he was pretty big over in New Japan and all that before he came over there, but they have turned him into a huge star on American soil. And now, I mean, it just throws that in the face of anybody who says, well, AEW can't do that. Well, yes, they can, because they've shown you with other people as well.
Yeah.
But they've shown you here that they can do it as well.
Oh, yeah.
So we will come back to that because I do want to answer her question. Stokely with the FTR.
Yeah.
Definitely not something I thought was going to happen. It's interesting though, because I mean, Stokely, I've never been a huge Stokely fan. I love FTR. And Carol, you've heard me mention it, that I think that FTR is one of the best tag teams in the world, and I love to see this heel turn, and I'm anxious to see where it goes. I don't know how Stokely fits in.
No,
it's kind of an odd pairing to me. I would have liked them to have, if you're going to get somebody that's going to be on there, I would have thought it would have been somebody more. And maybe Stampede's right, because I guess I would have thought somebody that fits more their style. And Stokely seems to be different a lot from them, just in his presentation and how he talks and everything like that. He's a lot more loud and out there, to where, I would want to see the heel FTR team just, maybe that's what they need. Somebody that's going to do all the talking for them and let them just go out and beat the crap out of people.
Beat them up.
That may be pretty cool.
That'd be dope.
So, and maybe that's it. It's just not something I saw. I'm anxious to see where it goes, because I think it could be really funny. He could add some levity to it, because from the few things I've seen from him in the past, he's very funny. And he can do a lot of that kind of stuff on the mic, which I think would be interesting to bring into it. I just thought they would try to stay something a little bit more serious. Let's see. Jimmy Hart led. Yeah, that's true. It's a good point. They've done it in the past in other companies. They've done it all over the place. So yeah, I'm not saying it can't work. It's just not something I expected. I thought they would go in a different direction, if at all. I mean, I didn't think they really needed anybody. Just let them come out and beat the piss out of everybody, and it'd have been fine. But if they're going to do it that way, we'll see. I think it'll be kind of funny. Anything else from AEW we missed? Stampede, Carol, anybody else in the audience? Ed?
MJF getting a thumbs down and then punked out by Bobby
Yes.
Lashley. He said, "You can't just talk your way into this one."
Do we see a character change from MJF where he starts being a little bit more serious and then starting to hurt people? Or is it going to be just MJF against Bobby Lashley?
Probably, I don't know, honestly. I don't know where they're going with this one. I'm just sitting back and enjoying this ride to see where this leads us. What about Bob?
Yeah.
What about Bob?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of want to see a kind of the same thing, we just talked about. I would kind of like to see MJF turn more into what the Hurt Syndicate is and show a little, because we all know he's got a vicious side.
Yeah,
we've seen it. Go into a little bit more than that. He's been the comedic wrestler, still putting on really good matches, but with the whole American Championship and all that, he's been that kind of wrestler for a little while now. To where I would just like him to see him just start hurting people. Give them what they want. MJF or MVP said it. Just give them what they want.
Yep.
Come out there next week and just hurt somebody.
Beat them up.
Yeah. Well, so I think Cedric may be a little further down the line. I think Cedric is going to be the one that kicks MJF out. So I think that maybe you let MJF come in and do what they want, join the group, and then still kind of be at odds with Bob. And then like in a month or so after Cedric is free and clear, ready to come in, they have like another vote or something like that after MJF's already been considered. Like they have a vote out, and then you get Cedric coming in, and that's Cedric's first feud as MJF. And then let Cedric go to the moon after that, because MJF doesn't really necessarily have to win a match like that.
Yep.
I think that would be a really cool story to bring Cedric in a little bit later. It makes Cedric feel like a bigger star than he ever was in WWE in his first feud if they do that. So it really elevates him to the level of the rest of them, where in WWE it always made him seem like Cedric was just the little brother that kind of tagged along. So I think somebody like MJF taking him out and doing something like that would really put him on the same level.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty much everything in AEW. And I saw this post. We're going to get to the Twitter post of the week. I saw this and I thought it was interesting. And guys in the comments, anybody that's still left with us, make sure you tell us. Chris Van Vliet put this out, which I'm sure it's been done before. And it's the 7 wrestlers theory. It's the person that made you fall in love with wrestling, the newest favorite wrestler that you have, the one that always makes you smile, your comfort wrestler, or the one you're most comfortable with, the one you can just watch at any time, the wrestler you miss the most, the one you protect with your whole life, and the one you're rooting for the most. So I will let you start with yours, and then I will give mine, and we'll go to some of the crowd, some of the audience.
Well, Bret Hart, number one. That's what made me fall in love with wrestling. Was the best there is, the best there was, and best there ever will be. Number 2, right now, newest favorite wrestler. I mean,
come on,
it's Dom. Everybody knows.
Yes, that was the easiest one of all.
The one that always made me smile, and I'm not even gonna front when you guys with this. It was Sable back in the day. I used to smile when she came out. Comfort wrestler. I could watch any Eddie Guerrero match known to man and not get bored. Not get bored at all. All right. I love Eddie Guerrero. I love Bret Hart. Those are 2 guys I really idolized as a kid. The one I missed the most, Fandango, even though he's in TNA right now. Yeah, I kind of like the gimmick. Well, I would not protect. I don't know, man. I'll probably have to protect Dom, number 6. We'll just do that one. And the one I'm rooting for the most, the one I really want to see get a title, I want to see R-Truth get a major title before he calls it quits. That's what I'm rooting for.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Let's see. So mine, the one that made me fall in love with wrestling is Kurt Angle. My favorite all-time wrestler. I watched wrestling before that, but seeing Kurt Angle, seeing the character, seeing his ability, and coming from a real background of the Olympics is what really made me really fall in love with wrestling. And plus, that was around the time I was becoming an adult. I found more about the backstage part of wrestling, and started getting into that more. So that's really what made me fall in love with it from that standpoint as well. My favorite right now, Karrion Kross, easy. I love Karrion Kross. I'm a huge Karrion Kross fan. I want to see more of Karrion Kross. I hope he gets a title this year. Wrestler that always made me smile, and again, it's kind of off the beaten path, but it's Santino Marella. One of the probably second funniest guy that I've ever seen wrestle behind R-Truth. And I thought about putting R-Truth there too, but I mean, I'm going to go with my original, and that's Santino. From his debut in Italy to the Cobra to now what he's doing in TNA. What little bit I do get to watch TNA, I love seeing every bit of it.
Love his dad.
My comfort wrestler, and I went on this just because it's like it's a match. I can throw any match on of his, and it can be in the background, and I can just enjoy it. I don't have to think too much. Is John Cena? He's not going to put on a match that I think I have to like dissect and wait for some kind of big spot, like a big flippy spot or anything like that. You can just put it on and just turn your brain off and just watch it for what it is. That's kind of the way I went with that one. The wrestler I missed the most, you see it behind me, is Kevin Owens. I know he hasn't been on that long, but I know he's going to be away a while. Hope he gets better, but that's who I missed the most. I wanted to see him at WrestleMania against Randy Orton. I didn't get to see that. I want to see him in a lot of other stuff. The wrestler that I would protect with my whole life, and I guess I could put this for my wrestler that I missed the most because she's not around a lot, is Tegan Knox / Nixon Newell. I saw her when she was at What Culture Pro Wrestling way before she got into any of the bigger stuff. Fell in love with her style and the way she wrestles and everything there. Followed her into WWE, and now she's doing some independent stuff as Nixon Newell again, and I will follow her wherever she goes. No matter what promotion she goes on, I will follow her. One of the best women's wrestlers, in my opinion. And people that I'm rooting for the most, I'm going to give two. One, everybody knows Obafemi. Roll Tide. I'm a huge Obafemi fan. I want to see him win every championship ever in the world. And then the second one is somebody that we finally get to see on some TV every now and then, is Athena. She was one of my favorite WWE women's wrestlers when she was there as Ember Moon. I've loved to see what little bit I can of her because I don't get to watch Ring of Honor as Athena. Seeing her now on AEW, I hope she gets more of a spotlight and gets put on there more. But yeah, those two, Obafemi and Athena / Ember Moon, whichever one she ends up being in the future, are the two people I'm rooting for the most.
It's actually good.
Let's see. Stampedes, Bruiser Brody, no question there. Seeing his profile pic. Two is Rena and Stardom.
Oh,
see, nice. I knew I was going to have this problem with Stampedes because I can't pronounce half of these. Natsupoi and Stardom is the one that always makes you smile. Number 4, your comfort red is Eddie Kingston. Number 5, the one you missed the most, is Bruiser Brody. That's fair. Number 6, the one you protect your whole life, is Kenny Omega. Fair again. Number 7, you kind of went the same way I did. Younger people, Billy Starks and Nick Wayne. I can definitely. I haven't seen as much Billy Starks, but I can agree with the Nick Wayne one 100%.
Yeah, I like what they're doing.
Nick Wayne he's a future star.
Yep.
Let's see. Jay fell in love with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Nice.
The wrestler he misses the most. Asuka.
Too bad fans are assholes.
The wrestler you would protect is Roman Reigns. I don't see the rest of him. Let's see. Here's Carol's. Tully made me fall in love with wrestling. Damian Priest is my newest favorite. Orange Cassidy makes her smile. The 4 Horsemen are her comfort wrestlers. Misses Bully Ray the most. There you go. FTR protect them and root for the most. Both of them there. So yeah, those are good ones from Carol. I like that.
I like that.
The Bully Ray I didn't expect. That's a different one. I like that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I like a little Bully Ray.
I could change
this serious stuff. That is 100%.
I miss Beer Money more than anything.
Yeah. We'll get to them in a second.
Beer Money.
The one that makes Jay smile is Jordan Grace. There you go.
Yo, Jordan Grace.
And yeah, man. Sometimes we get a little serious here. We gotta be able to take it both ways. We like to laugh and cut up, but I mean, this is some nostalgia stuff, and it's, who would be your 7, Herb? I know you used to watch wrestling back in the day, or you're just getting back into it. But who would be your 7 in back in the day when you guys used to watch wrestling a lot?
Lady Alpha says Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vakir, Jay Uso, Kane, Cody Rhodes, and anyone else goes up against Logan Paul. Ah, that's hilarious. I
Let's see
love
if she's
that.
rooting. So
Yeah.
Jay's on there twice right now, I guess.
Jay's on there twice.
A salute to Mako Satomura and Tam McCoy wrestled. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Two legends. I don't know Tam Nakano as much. I've seen a little bit, but obviously I've seen Mako Satomura in a lot of stuff. Yeah, both legends. Shout out to them. Hopefully, I'm sure they will be doing stuff behind the scenes in wrestling if they choose to. I mean, I know Mako Satomura can go anywhere and be a trainer. I'm sure Tam probably can as well. But definitely. And again, if you guys follow us on X at _BeerMac27 at SP3DRCK, let us know who your 7 wrestlers are. I will. I've retweeted this already, but I will retweet it after the show. That way, you guys can see it. Yeah. Next up, we've got the matchmaker. Speaking of of beer money that you mentioned, you have our matchmaker of the week. Sorry, my brain crapped out there for a second. Tag team special, beer money versus the Young Bucks versus the Hardy Boys versus Mark and Jay Briscoe. Who you're up first? Who you got?
First off, this is like 4 really good tag teams going up against each other throughout the years. That's what I try to do. You know, of course, you see the Hardys with the WWE World Tag Team Championships. You know, Jay and Mark with the ROH Championships. Honestly, though, this match could come down to 3 different things. All right. 1, who helps out the Young Bucks? Right? Who comes out and helps out the Young Bucks? 1. 2, does Jeff and Matt use a ladder? And 3, how many beer bottles are really about to get broken across someone's face? All right. So there's the 3 things that are about to happen in this match. All right. Hopefully we see a beer bottle go through someone's face as they're putting them through a table. That'd be dope. Right. So we can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. But I see beer money winning this because out of all these tag teams, that's my favorite one. I love me some beer money. Those guys are freaking ruthless. Those 2, James Storm and Bobby Roode, both of them would come out. And sorry about your damn luck, but I get it. You Briscoe fan, I get it. But I really love me some beer money, man. Beer money all the way for me. I love Mark and Jay, but I don't know who takes the pen. Honestly,
Yes.
Mark
I
would
thought the
eat
same
that
thing.
beer bottle.
I thought kind of the same thing when you started mentioning breaking beer bottles. I was like, it's hard to tell who would break more beer bottles, whether it was beer money or the Briscoes.
Yes, exactly.
That's a very Mark thing to do.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how many beer bottles are going to be broken in this, but somehow, yeah. Oh, I love their stuff. Sorry about your damn luck, but man, I'm taking them. Yeah, I love me some beer money back in the day.
Look, they're all great tag teams. I think out of the 4 tag teams, I think beer money would probably be 4th if I was ranking tag team rankings.
You're right. No, you're
probably
right.
Be 4th on this list. But if I'm ranking them in here, they're number 1.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
I love beer money more than anything else. They're one of my favorite tag teams of all time. Exactly. I've got to go with beer money. I care less about the Young Bucks. The Hardy Boys, yeah, they're fine. I like the Briscoes. And I'm not denying that they're probably the best tag team in the world. Like I said, in-ring work, all that, beer money's probably 4th on this, maybe 3rd. You can kind of go between them or the Hardy Boys. But in my heart, beer money's number 1. Sorry about your damn luck. Let's go drink a beer.
Yeah, but I mean, anybody coming out on a scooter that has also a cooler attached to it.
Oh, yeah.
Wheels, all right. You already won. Okay. Supply the beers. Yeah, listen.
Yeah, it's kind of the way I would go to JP. That's kind of how I'd rank them.
You're 100% right. When I did this, I made sure, like I knew everybody's going to say the Briscoes and then Young Bucks and Hardy. I knew that. All right. But when it comes down to it, heart of hearts, I love beer money, man.
Yeah.
That was one hell of a gimmick.
Yeah, I love beer money. I wish when we saw James Storm in NXT that we would have got a beer money run in NXT or WWE, and it never
That
happened.
would have
And
been fucking awesome,
that
man.
kind of broke my heart a little bit. So
Broke my heart a lot.
So that is the show. We will lead us to tonight's final word with Big Mike. So I will let Sped. Oh, before we do Sped, here is Herbs 7. Number 1 Sting, Rhea Ripley,
Nice.
R-Truth. Maybe Triple H is what that's supposed to be. Maybe
HMM. I'm trying to think of who that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is either. Herb, who's HMM? Let me know who that is. Stone Cold and The Rock. They're wrestlers. They should. That's a pretty good one.
For a reason.
Number 7.
I love that
you're
one.
rooting for it. Well, it's because you picked them. That's why you're rooting for them today, because you picked them. Ask you again in another video. We will do that. I will bring it back up later, and go there. Chris, what's going on? How you doing today,
What's
Chris?
going on, Chris?
Oh, that's him literally saying, I don't have an answer. I thought maybe you were trying to go Triple H and just hit the wrong button because you weren't paying attention or something. I wasn't sure. But thank you for clarifying that you just weren't sure. So with that, we will get Sped. Tell everybody where they can find you. Any other goodbyes you want to say before I get to the final word with Big Mike?
You guys see it right there. Just type in @SpedRock on X. Hit me up right there. Follow me. I'll follow you back. Also, real quick, if you're a veteran or first responder, head over to VetTix. Get your double or nothing tickets. All right, and get your AEW Rampage, Dynamite, everything tickets. They're under $20 for 4 tickets. All right, head over there, get your tickets. All right, you guys deserve it. You know, we bust our asses off as veterans and first responders. Get your tickets, go watch a show. Enjoy wrestling. All right, stop bitching about it. Enjoy it.
All right. Thank you, sir. That gets us to the final segment of the night, the final word with Big Mike. And I'm going to take this moment to showcase not only Sped, but the show in general. We made a pretty big announcement the other day on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, pretty much everywhere you see us. We've been doing this. This is episode 30, so a little over 6 months we've been doing this now. And we made the announcement that we now have merch. You can go to the Run-In Wrestling at Fourth Wall. I'll give you the link here in a second. A lot of merch on there. There's more merch coming as we are actually putting this stuff together ourselves, the designs and stuff. You can see some of our logos. We've put some of the stuff together. So this is not something that's commercialized. It's something that ideas we've come up with, things that we think are cool. I know there's been a few orders already. Thank you guys for everyone who's bought merch already. But I did put something together. I've been trying to do some graphics and stuff. I've done some stuff. So I put a little thing together that I want to play for you guys. Hopefully shows a little bit about what we're doing. And the merch we've got coming out, and it'll give you the site to go to at the end. So this is my commercial for the Run-In Wrestling podcast merch. Enjoy. Yeah, that's just a few things. There's a lot more on there. We've got hoodies, we've got sweatshirts, we've got beanies, we've got hats. There's a water bottle, a coffee cup, a lot of stuff on there for you guys to take a look at. I will actually have a different hat on. I've got a Run-In Wrestling hat on the way here. So hopefully I've got that in by next week's show, so you guys will be able to see that in person. I know Sped is going to get probably the no breaks or all break shirt. So he can wear it. I know some friends of ours have some stuff coming that I will get some pictures of and put up there for you as well. We couldn't have done that without you guys. Thank you so much to everyone. If you can afford to buy something and you want to buy something, that's awesome. You don't have to. But just any way you support the channel, whether it's buying merch, whether it's coming in the comments, whether it's supporting us and following us on Twitter, thank you guys so much. None of this happens without you guys. We're not here being two idiots talking about wrestling. every Thursday night for a couple of hours without all of you guys, every single one of you. We love you. Thank you so much. And hope you guys have a great night.
Real quick,
Enjoy
hit
wrestling.
the promo code. Hit
my
the
bad.
code.
My bad. I forgot. I got all wrapped up. And since you guys are watching this show, there's going to be a different promo code every week that you can get a percentage off. This week's promo code is TRIW. The Run-In Wrestling is what it stands for. So if you go there, type in the promo code TRIW. It is good until next Wednesday, and you'll get a percentage off of your order. So thank you guys. Thank you, Sped, for reminding me of that because I forgot about it when I got caught up. So yeah, I mean, just thank you guys. Maybe that should have been the promo code. Would be thank you. That'll be next week's. Probably shouldn't have put that out there, but watch next week to see what it is. If it's thank you or something else. For Big Mike or Sped, thank you guys so much. We love you, and just enjoy wrestling, guys.